What is up, everybody? Welcome back to my pressure washing business. You guys, this whole setup here on this trailer, this is like a $2,000 setup, okay? This is the basic pressure washing equipment that you need to get started. So I've been getting a lot of questions, a lot of comments, and you guys are asking me to do a full tour again. So that's exactly what this video is going to be. Not only is it going to be a full tour, but I'm also going to leave all the links in the description, okay? Everything on my trailer pretty much came from Amazon, and it's actually pretty decent equipment. This is your basic setup to get you guys out there making money, but this is what I use every day out there, and I make a decent living doing it, okay? You can always add stuff to it. Like you can add, if you guys want to get like a good soft wash system or something, you can add all that, but this is the basic setup to go out there and do house washes, okay? In my area, we have a lot of vinyl siding, a lot of homes like mobile homes, manufactured. We do a lot of two-story homes that have vinyl siding. Anyways, this is the setup that's going to get you going, you guys. It's super cheap. Everything on my trailer, I don't know, maybe $2,000, maybe a little more. It's not that much. You don't need an enclosed trailer. The only reason why I have an enclosed trailer is because where I park my trailer at night, I don't want people stealing my equipment. But honestly, if I had an open trailer, I prefer an open trailer. But I have to roll with this. All this stuff you can fit on the back of a pickup truck. You don't have to have a trailer, so that's just something to think about. I also have videos showing you how I have everything on the back of my pickup truck at one point. So I'll leave that video here, the pickup truck video. Also, all the equipment in here. Let's roll through it, you guys. You ready? So the first thing you're going to need when you're starting a pressure washing business, you want a 4-gallon per minute machine. Okay, that's a good starting point. You don't want to get a smaller one. You can, if that's all you have and you have to get out there and make money, you can start off with a smaller one and work your way up to this. This machine right here, guys, if you go to Harbor Freight, you go to Home Depot, Lowe's, you can pick up a 4-gallon per minute machine for about $1,000. That's what they run. I built this one myself, and it's pretty much the same pump and everything that you get on the machines that come at Home Depot and Lowe's, except it doesn't have the cart with it or nothing. But anyways, it's the engine, the pump. Come over here and show them the pump real quick. So it's the engine, the pump, and there's an engine plate on the bottom. So all three of those pieces right there, grand total was like $550 to build at the time that I built it. It might have been just around $500. It might be a little bit more now because it's been about a year since I built it. If I had to guess, still for under $600, you guys are getting a really good 4-gallon per minute machine that has electric start on it. Okay, nowhere that you go, Home Depot, Lowe's, Harbor Freight, the store machines are not going to have electric start. So that's a good plus there. Now, my 4-gallon per minute machine I have running off of a buffer tank. You don't have to do that. And a lot of people give me grief about it and say it's not going to work that way. I'm going on 3 years using it, okay? Since I've always run my buffer tank. And the reason why is because I have an external unloader valve on here. So an external unloader valve is just this piece right here. I haven't disconnected in a while. This is an external unloader valve, okay? And what this does is it allows your regular 4-gallon per minute machine that's not belt driven or anything, it allows you to dump water back to a buffer tank. What's the point of that? It's so that your pressure washer is running off of the buffer tank, which will always be circulating. So no matter what, once this machine starts, it starts circulating. As soon as I start it up, the water is going to start circulating, and it's always going to have cold water running through the pump. And that's why my pumps last me so long. This pump right here, I'm going on over a year on it, and I haven't had any problems with it. Normally a cheap pump like this wouldn't last you that long, but because I'm running it off of a buffer tank with this valve right here, and it's always getting cold water, it's lasting me a really long time. So let me go ahead and hook all this back up. So pretty much I got my hose reel here, my whip line, that plugs into the external unloader valve. This right here is my buffer tank. That's where water dumps back out, and then it just plugs into my pressure washer. Really simple. So let's move on. You have to have a surface cleaner. I have 2 of them on here. This one, I like this one better, honestly, and it's actually cheaper, the Xjet. It's a little bit smaller. It's 18-inch. This one's a 20-inch. The 20-inch works good, but I just have to move a little bit slower with it. You understand? So the 18-inch, I can move at a decent speed, and it does a good job. I like the 18-inch. But either one, I'm going to leave both links in the description. You guys can choose. Just make sure you have casters. It makes the job a lot easier. If I didn't explain it, the whole buffer tank stuff, there's a lot to it. Not really, but it's more than this video can explain. The buffer tank has a float valve inside of here. And so as the water fills up, it automatically shuts off. That's hooked up to the customer's house. Through this right here goes to my hose reel. I'm going to explain it all here in a minute. It's kind of confusing right now, but it's going to make sense. But anyways, the buffer tank build, I'm going to leave that video link right up here because that's a whole nother build. I'll teach you guys how to build the buffer tank. Okay, not on this video, but if you click on that video right there, it'll walk you right through how to build it, and it'll explain things a lot more. So watch this video, then go back and watch that one. So moving along, we're going to get through it. If you want to come around on this side, I'll show them the hose reels. So as you can see, I got 2 hose reels here. One of them's got garden hose on it. This is Flexzilla hose. First thing I do when I get to a customer's house is I take this hose and I drag it out and I go plug it into the customer's water supply. Okay, and from there, that'll automatically start filling up my buffer tank. Okay, so I turn the customer's water on, it automatically starts filling this up, and when it fills up to that float valve inside there, it shuts off all by itself. Okay, and as I use my pressure washer, the float valve opens back up and it's going to keep this full at all times. That's how it works. Because a lot of people ask me, they can't comprehend how that works, but that's how that works. So this always stays full, and as I use water, it's going to open and close all by itself. So that's that hose reel. This is my high pressure line. Okay, and this is 3/8 inch hose. This is non-marking, so it doesn't leave marks in driveways and stuff. That's pretty important. You don't want to leave marks in people's driveways. Do you guys remember when you were a kid and you got some tennis shoes on and you're going through the store and you can make like a black mark? So some hoses, some of the off-brand hoses, they will actually leave a black mark on people's driveway. You don't want that. So these hoses right here are pretty high quality and they're not very expensive. They're non-marking. It's a good hose. So I recommend you guys getting at least 200 feet of hose, and that's enough to do any basic house wash. 200 feet of hose. So let me take this off and show you my gun. Now on this gun here, let me get this off. This is called a ball valve. Okay, this ball valve here allows you to shut the water off right at the gun. If I didn't have this, every time that I want to go switch out to my surface cleaner or switch guns, let's say I want to switch the long gun down here, I'd have to shut the machine off. Okay, every time I have to go shut the machine off and start all over. But because I have this on there, I can just shut the water off right here. You understand? You can't take this off if it's under pressure. There's no way. You'd have to shut the machine off. This ball valve kills the pressure. So not only does it do that, but you can also rinse with it. It is amazing for rinsing. So if you're rinsing off a big concrete area, use this ball valve. I mean, it'll blast everything out. It's great for rinsing. So definitely recommend a ball valve. And then after that, I got my little shorty gun here. Now the short gun, I like it because it's small. I use it 99% of the time. I'm using this gun. I do have a longer gun. I'm going to show you here in a minute. But the short gun, it's just easier. You know, I like the short gun. Sometimes if you're washing a whole lot of homes, I put a tennis ball in here because after a while your hand starts hurting. You'll get to know it after you go wash about. After doing it for a while, you'll know exactly what I'm talking about. The guys that do it for a while, you know what I mean. But there's a trick there. Put a tennis ball in there, and that keeps it held open while you're washing. But anyways, that's something else. This is my favorite tip right here. This is called a DS twist. It's kind of like the Xjet tip. Pretty much the same thing as Xjet, except it doesn't have a port on it or anything. So this is a DS twist, and it has a fan pattern. So I can control the fan on there. And this is what I use 99% of the time. This tip right here turns my pressure washing unit into pretty much a mini soft wash unit. So it's pretty much soft washing. So what I do is, I didn't show you the Downstream Injector. Most important thing, it's right here. So this right here is called a Downstream Injector. This is what I use to suck the SH. Okay, without this, I can't apply any chemical. This is your chemical injector here. SH, chlorine, sodium hypochlorite. Okay, so that's what we use for cleaning 99% of the time. That's what we're using out here. So you can either plug this in to the pressure washer, you know, right in there, or you can plug it in right here to your hose reel. I choose to go here, and it works just fine. It just makes it so there's less stuff plugged into the pressure washer. You got your whip line. Okay, and that's what sucks the chemical. So I have this box on mine. You don't have to have this. This is the Downstream Injector remote control box. How mine works, I have a battery here. It turns on. I put this hose right here inside of my chlorine. I use these tanks right here from like Pinch a Penny. So I would throw my hose inside this chlorine tank here, and the other end is going to my Downstream Injector. I have a remote control. I push a button and it automatically starts sucking chemical for me. That's how I do it. This box right here, I'll leave the link for you guys. I got this one off eBay. That's the only thing that's not off Amazon, I think. But it once you start washing a lot, you'll see. But this is something you can upgrade to later on. But it definitely saves a lot of time. Otherwise, you'd have to run back and forth to the truck to pull your chlorine stick out. You know what I mean? I'd go put my chemical on the house. I had to run back to the truck, pull the stick, go, you know what I'm talking about, back and forth. Where this is in my pocket, and I just simply push it when I need it. When I need chlorine, I just turn it on. When I don't need it, I turn it off. Just makes life a lot easier. But that's that. But yeah, back to the gun. This is my favorite gun here. So the gun, the ball valve, DS twist, DC twist. You also need a long gun. This is good for things that so you're not bending down, you know. With a short gun, you'd be bending down, hurting your back. It's good for wood when you gotta do steps, concrete areas, edges. I use the big gun a lot too. You have to have one. It's just part of it. Another tip that I like, this right here is called a J-rod. This is pretty cool, guys. So I could take this tip off. Usually when I go out, one of these is in my pocket and one's on the gun. These are my two favorite tips right here. I use these all the time. So let's say I'm not using the DS twist. I put this in my pocket. The J-rod here is really cool. So it's got a 2-story tip on here. This is 2-story rinse tip, okay? And it'll also, for soap and stuff, 2-story rinse tip, okay? A 1-story soap tip, and then a 1-story rinse tip. So if I said that correctly. Anyways, you got two 2-story tips. One's for rinsing, one's a little bit higher pressure, and then the same thing for the 1-story. But it's really cool to have. So you got 4 different tips all in one slot. So you just pick which one you want at the time. You understand? So whichever one I want, I just pick it. Really cool to have a J-rod. And there's different tips. You can line these up however you want them. But this is the basic 4 gallon per minute J-rod setup. I'll leave this in the link too. Everything is going to be in the description. Easy to follow, guys. Make this easy for you. And that's pretty much my entire setup. Just remember these hose reels here. I'm going to leave both of these hose reels in there, but I'm also going to leave a cheaper one because this one's a little bit more expensive, but they do have cheaper options. Anyways, I'm going to leave all these here. This is the Cox hose reel. I really like this one, guys. These are good hose reels. The garden hose reel, they've upgraded this. Now it's aluminum. So you'll see that in the description. That's made by Draft Tools. And then also the whip lines. Here you go, guys. If you're going to build my setup, you have to have a whip line for your garden hose. You have to have a whip line for your high pressure hose here. This is a whip line right here, going from the hose reel to the pressure washer. But all this is going to be listed in the description. Easy to follow, guys. So one more time, I'll tell you, if you're interested in building a buffer tank, I'm going to leave the link right up here. So there it is. If you're interested in building this 4 gallon per minute pressure washer, I already did it. I'm going to leave the link right here. So that's a whole complete different video. That's a different video. And then I also have another video going through all the equipment that explains things a little bit more in depth. So I'm going to leave that one linked right there above me. Okay, that way you got all 3 videos. And you guys, I hope that these videos are helping you guys out. Hope you guys have a good luck with your pressure washing business. You guys can do it. Don't let anybody tell you different. There's a lot of money to be made out there. Just got to get out there, spread the word, get some yard signs, do some door knocking, do some Facebook advertising. Facebook Marketplace works great. Good luck, guys. Hope you guys have a great day. See you on the next one. Bye.